हाँ sir, we IITians are used to do everything. In worst to worst situation, we can make the plan, sir.
Yes,
Sir, you start.
I'm
Sir.
sure. I'm sure. So the participants are not listening at this time.
Sir, this time they are not listening. But
okay,
I put my session on recording mode. Whatever you will deliver, they all will listen just after the completion of your session. I will share the
all
recording.
right.
Clear, sir? Sir, you must start.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is, as they say in Hindi, जो काम गलत शुरू होता है वो अच्छा होता है. And today I am very happy to be amongst the faculty members and research scholars of the country, or it is indeed a privilege to be speaking to you about the paradigm shift that has taken place in the domain of higher education. Now, higher education, or education for that matter, has never been without challenges, if you ask me. And I'm sure many of you would be asking yourself or questioning your decision to get into academics. But at the same time, I would like to tell you that it has never been easy for academics anywhere in the world. Were it Dronacharya, or was it Socrates, or Chanakya? They all had challenges, and probably bigger challenges than you and I are accustomed to or would be facing or are facing at this point of time. Now, coming back to the paradigm and the changes that have taken place in the paradigm, you see, in 2012, we did a study to understand. In fact, 2012 was when we did it here at the behest of the Planning Commission of India. But this process of trying to identify the problem was first noticed in 1990 by Dr. Ernest Boyer at the Carnegie Foundation for Advancement of Teaching at Princeton. Now, in this, there were three fundamental questions which were tried to be addressed. The first being, why is it that we are not able to catch the best talent from the eligible candidates? There aren't enough people wanting to take up academics. And the people who are wanting to come into academics are not up to the mark of the expectation of the institutions. So how do we attract talent and talented people to academics? The second question was that the scenario, the paradigm is constantly changing and not always in the favor of higher education. If you recall, many of you would recall that in the early 90s, the structural adjustment reforms were done in the country. And this was under the influence of the World Bank and IMF. So the funds available were cut down, and the money available to institutions like yours and like others all over the country were reduced phenomenally. And even the so-called branded institutions had to fund themselves. Now, in this scenario, the third question was that what are the motivators and the demotivators? Obviously, there were more demotivators than motivators for the challenges that were being thrown at the academic people. And after Dr. Boyer's study, there were many comparative studies and follow-up studies undertaken. And I was part of the study which was taken up by the Planning Commission, and then they farmed it out to IIT Delhi, and IIT Delhi gave a portion of that to me and my team to look into. So UP, Bihar were the two places that I studied under this. And you'll be surprised, I met a lot of people at the academic staff colleges of universities. I met the people who are directors and senior people who are conducting training programs for faculty members. And I met the faculty coming from all over Uttar Pradesh and Bihar to these colleges. That included BHU, Allahabad University, Gorakhpur University, Aligarh Muslim University, and you name it. All the universities and colleges were covered in that. One thing which was very prominent was that the education which is happening as of now is not in sync with the requirement of the market or the job market. Many people were doing jobs for which it is not important to be a graduate at all. Many jobs existed which were applied for by technocrats, BTechs, chartered accountants, by MBAs. But those qualifications were not used. They were not required. But why were they in the first place placed as a slab or a bar for somebody to apply? One professor at the academic staff college, I posed this question to him. I said, why is it that we are looking at graduates for ABCD positions when this job can be done by a non-graduate? A person with little more training after class 12 or even class 10 would be able to do this job better. Their technology orientation is far better. Their grasping of the changes which are taking place around us. You and I might find it difficult. I definitely find it difficult. But my children and your children are very adept at acclimatizing themselves in the changing scenario. They're very quick. Now, a small issue like the problem that we faced at the beginning of this program was something which probably a 10-year-old or a 15-year-old would not even think about. I mean, he would dabble with the gadgets and the options available and he'll crack the problem. But the teachers obviously are from a different generation. They are older. They are not completely comfortable or at home with the rapid changes which are taking place in the technology sector. And to couple it, you have the pandemic, which has, in a way, did something very good. It did something very good for all of us because it stopped us, number one. It stopped us from doing what we were doing and forced us to think that, is this what you should have been doing in the first place? If not, this is the time you need to reevaluate, rethink, unlearn, and learn new ways of addressing the issues which are going to come to you in future or in near future. Having said that, the fundamental question remains that if 7% of the world population has a bachelor's degree and not a job, not at least all of them have a job, what are we doing? What are colleges for? What are higher education universities doing? What is their purpose of existence? Why should there not be something which is more helpful to the students? Mind you, the student does not have the privilege or the option to go in for something that he might like, or he might want to pursue as a vocation. It is very easy to say that, okay, follow your heart, be passionate, and do something which you like. Okay, I might like literature. What are the job options? What is my livelihood option? Very limited. I am interested in physical education. What do I do after getting a degree, a bachelor's degree in physical education? Are there options available? Now, these are big questions which the teaching community, I am not saying teachers, I'm saying teaching community will have to stop and think. And for that to happen, it is first important that you look at yourself. Because you are in the leadership role amidst this turmoil and confusion and that is happening. It is affecting you, yes. It is affecting the students, yes. It is affecting the management, absolutely. But who is the person who walks into the classroom and has these 70, 80 faces looking at him or her with expectation of finding solutions? So it is the onus of taking care of those expectations, of those hearts, those restless hearts, is yours, ladies and gentlemen. It is your duty. It is your duty, it is your dharma, that when you walk into your classes, you are not a husband, wife, a person who has financial problems, or a person who has tremendous problems when he steps out of the class. When you're in the class, you are with your chosen ones. They have expectations from you that you will show them the torch. You will put them on the path. You will give them nuggets of wisdom which they can carry and survive till tomorrow. And when they recall, they remember that this toolkit was provided to me by my teacher. You need not wish away all that is happening in your life. You cannot, none of us can. But at the same time, you need to leave your personal life outside the door of the classroom. And when you are inside, for that 40 minutes or 90 minutes, your focus and commitment has to be towards that student or those set of students who are your responsibility. Now, if you look at the logos of every college or every university, what do you see there? What have we promised in our logo, in our symbol, in our communication? What do we promise? We promise, the logos symbolize knowledge, learning, truth, the pursuit of truth, light. We will take you to the lit path. You often have a sun, and I have often been confused that is it a rising sun or a setting sun? The lion, the symbol of power, the power of learning, freedom. Freedom from what? Freedom from the shackles of ignorance. Help, support. Now, these are the elements that we encapsulate and put in our crest, in our logos. And we get students with light in their eyes to hoping that this is a place from where I will be put on a springboard which will A, take care of my livelihood, B, it will take care of my personal knowledge, passion, and thirst. I mentioned to you that this study that 18 countries, mind you, this is not a problem of only India. There were 18 countries which participated in this global study. And each country had this issue that where are we going wrong? We are going wrong somewhere, but where are we going wrong? And one of the most fundamental elements that emerged out of this was that the faculty members do not have adequate opportunities to grow and develop themselves. It is not, I repeat, it is not only money which is responsible for the discontentment in the higher education sector. It is the paucity of growth opportunities and self-development opportunities for the faculty members. I might be a teacher, but I do not have the right or the privilege to stop learning myself. I have to learn, and probably in today's times, with the pandemic hovering over us, I have to double my effort to stay abreast with the changes. The controllables of yesterday are not the controllables available to me. So I will have to find new controllables to run my life and to do justice to my profession. And more than that, justice to the students who are, in a sense, my customer. I am a parent figure for them, a parent figure. Often you will find at home, those of you who are parents would hear, children do not always do things that you tell them to at home. But they will come and quote their teacher. My teacher said, this is how it needs to be done, and this is how I will do it. They take you very seriously, ladies and gentlemen. Your students take you very seriously. They might be naughty. They might be little on the badmash side. But each one of them the fact that he or she comes to your class is proof that he or she has some expectation. Live up to that expectation. For that, you will need to raise your standard. You will need to work harder than you have or than you thought you are capable of. You will have to work harder. You will have to develop yourself very quickly in today's times. You don't know how technology, and at best, please be very clear and be advised not to look at technology from a point of view of a panacea. No, it is not. Technology is not an answer to all the questions and problems that you will be confronting inside and outside your class. Technology at best is an enabler. It is a tool in the hands of a person. It cannot replace the person. It cannot replace the teacher. Excuse me. The teacher may be using technology and means provided by the technology to carry on the work, which is the fundamental work of communicating with each and every student in the class. I repeat, each and every student in the class, not only the bright guys or girls, each and every student. There will be the quieter kinds, there will be the garrulous kinds, there will be the naughty ones, there will be the absentees, the latecomers, all of them. But they are your flock. They are yours. And you need to treat them like that. That by the time my 90 minutes of lecture is over, each one of my students should walk out with something in his or her mind that is going to help him or her in running his life better, in being able to see the choices and the choices that he or she has to make in these turbulent times. Mind you, it's not easy for the students also. They also have problems at home. We all have problems. But you are the one who is the leader of the class, and you are the one who is responsible for developing, coaching, and teaching each and every student of your class. Now, after that Gyan Vardhak lecture, let me talk a little bit about the three things that you need to do to take care of yourself. And mind you, your mental hygiene and your mental health is also very important. When you fly in an aircraft, they say that if the pressure falls down in the cabin, oxygen masks will fall down. Please wear the mask first yourself before trying to help somebody else. So, ladies and gentlemen, you need to first take care of yourself. You need to take care of yourself physically. You need to take care of yourself psychologically. You need to take care of yourself socially. You need to take care of yourself economically. Your welfare and your state of mind will determine how successful you're going to be. And in today's time, what's important is that you have a free and open-minded attitude. There are no rules. The pandemic has taught us something, that there are no rules. Everything is a fresh page. Every day is a new day. And the challenges that might get thrown at you, You might not have been educated or trained to handle them, but you are the ones who are there to first take care of yourself and then take care of your students. So there are three quick advices that I would like you to focus on. And you're most welcome to, we have shortage of time. You're most welcome to interact with me to get elaborations and details. The first thing is that decide not to be stagnant. Decide that you will not be stagnant. You will be dynamic. You will move forward. You might be crushed, but at the same time, you will get up, dust yourself, and move ahead. And every day, you need to smile at yourself rather than say, "Arey yaar, kahan phas gaye hum? Ab to Bhagwan ne bhi hame chhod diya." You can say that in private to yourself. But the moment you step into that sacrosanct space we call classroom, all those ideas should be put in a box and locked. Nothing in your behavior, in your conduct should reflect your pain, your problems to the students. So decide to raise your standards, not be stagnant, be dynamic, keep learning, keep teaching yourself something or the other, burn night oil, and develop competencies in yourselves that are going to be relevant this week. We don't know what will happen in the next month or the next year. Think very, very short term. How am I going to be relevant today? How am I going to be relevant this week? The next week might be different. New restrictions might come. I might fall sick. My class might fall sick. The paradigm is very, very fluid, very, very shifty. You need to be prepared and on your toes for it, always. So the first point I said, raise your standard and work very hard towards it. Don't be happy with what you had, what you're qualified for, what your competencies were. No, they are not enough. You will have to add to them continuously. The second point that I would like to mention here is change your strategy. What worked yesterday will not work today. And the possibility is that what is working today may not work tomorrow. So you need to be open, free and open mind. You need to be having a free and open-minded attitude to be able to adjust in any situation that life puts you in. Having said that, and for doing that, you need to change your strategy. I often hear people saying, I do it this way. Get that out of your head. You might have done it that way. My father might have done it another way. My grandfather might have done it another way. But you are faced with a situation which is very unique. It is unique to you. The toolkits and the techniques and the strategies of the past may or may not be relevant. You need to be open. And you need to question everything. Is this going to work? Is this going to work today? Is this going to work next week? Am I prepared? Do I have options? Be open and changing be open to changing your strategies on a regular basis. And in doing these two tasks, aforementioned tasks, there will be the biggest obstacle, you. Why do I say you? You will be the biggest obstacle in, people might ask, how can I not be interested in my own development? How will I not object to or raise my standards? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, more often than not, we are the ones who hold ourselves back. We hold ourselves back by our limiting beliefs. What is the limiting belief?
If you permit me,
Yeah, Amit.
if you permit me that I can share the link with the other participants too.
Oh, please do, please do. Please,
Sir, so
please, can you do that? Should
yes,
I
sir.
stop? Should I stop for 5 minutes?
Wait for 5 minutes. I'm just sharing, and then once again
All right.
you would be connected, because you are using IIT Delhi Zoom, na? So I'm just sharing it with the other guys, so that they should also get the wisdom of the knowledge, sir. Sorry for the interruption, but
so should I hold? Should I hold for a minute?
For 2 minutes only, sir. I'm just getting connected with the other participants too.
All right. All right.